Hi gel press friends, Marjolaine here, and I'm introducing myself face to face because gel press thought it would be nice if you guys can get to know me a little bit better. And so I thought it was the perfect day since I got my hair done yesterday, and because we're just about, well, not even really out of lockdown yet too much. My cats, my kids, and you guys are the only ones who will get to see this hair, so there you have it. So I'm a messy artist. I often forget to clean my stuff. Sometimes it's on purpose, sometimes it's not. I often have a plan, but it rarely works out, so I kind of create, what's that expression? Yeah. Fly by the seat of my pants? Is it fly by the seat of my pants? I don't know, but that's how I create. Anyways, I hope that encourages you because I know sometimes I watch videos of people creating and they make it seem so easy and perfect, and I'm just not like that. So I hope that encourages some of you that you're thinking, I can never do that. Well, when you watch my videos, you know that you could do that because, well, I did it. And so for today's video, I'm going to let you inside of my brain. So I'm going to actually narrate what's going on in my head as I'm creating, and I'm pretty sure some of you can relate. And for the rest of you, I'm so sorry. It's going to be cringy. I just know it will be, but that's who I am. So I'll see you in the video. Bye. Hi gel press friends, Marjolaine here, and I have a bit of a mess here to show you. Yesterday I made a journal, and it was supposed to be this month's gel press video with Faith Impressions, and I was just about done when I realized I had not pressed the record button. So I do want to show you what I made, because I'm gonna record another video now, but I want to kind of show you the steps that you missed because I didn't record. So gel press has Brutus Monroe as a preferred partner, and so I'm using a bunch of their products for this. There's some clear acetate, some fiber paper, and then I just love envelopes, so I had requested some envelopes from them. And also I'll be using some of their larger envelopes. And what I did is I made a journal, and so I'll show you really quick what I did. So I just used my score pal and I scored the large envelopes just halfway down, and then I did some of the smaller envelopes as well. And then I used my arc just to punch some holes, and this is going to be an arc journal. So that's what you missed. And so I did the whole package with the envelopes, and then I punched through some of the acetate as well and the fiber paper. And then I used the whole kit, the whole Faith Impression kit. And here's what I did. I was just about done. Still need some details, but I'm very sad because I really liked it. And so I just did my background with some Chroma Glaze and some Galaxy Glaze from Brutus Monroe. And I used a bit of the wash as well as the Galaxy powders. I think that's about it, and some gesso. And then I started just painting the backgrounds. And then I was just collaging some elements. So I suppose I'm going to do another journal page today. And I'll make sure to record this time. So I'll see you in a second.
Okay, so to start, I'm just going to put some gesso over my envelope. I don't want to cover the whole thing because I do like the craft paper showing through. And this will just help with the glaze to make it show up a little better. So here I'm pressing really hard because I'm trying to release some of the old paint that was underneath the gesso because I like how it looks when it comes off on the envelope. So next I'm using some of the Brutus Monroe Glaze medium. And I'm gonna use the brayer to roll it onto the plate, but I don't want it everywhere. I just kind of want it to come off in some sections and not the others. So as you can see, the glaze is a little bit translucent, so it gives a really nice soft effect. So here's what's happening in my brain right now. These are two different jars, and I'm not completely colorblind or anything, but I do really struggle with some colors sometimes, and to me these two look 100% identical. But I won't argue with anyone on that because I've done that before and I'm always wrong. So I don't know if it was a mistake or they're just very close, but to me they look 100% the same. So now I'm using an impressible, and to be honest, I'm thinking that this won't work because it's a glaze, and I just have a feeling that it really won't show up on my page. So let's have a try and see what happens. Okay, I was wrong. It looks wonderful. I'm very pleased with that. So here I'm just using a little bit of the wash. I don't want it to be all over the place, so I'm just going to rub parts of my journal page onto the plate. Here I'm going to create a border, and I'm going to use some of the Glaze as well as the Galaxy powders. And you'll see I'm using a paintbrush here that leaves behind quite a bit of texture. That is because when I realized that I hadn't pressed the record button yesterday, I kind of got frustrated and walked away from everything, including the paintbrush that had Mod Podge on it. So it's pretty much toast now, which is really sad because normally I use cheap paintbrushes for Mod Podge, but I actually used one of my favorite brushes this time. So if you have any ideas on how I can save this paintbrush, I would love to know in the comments. And I'm just going to sprinkle some of the Galaxy powder right on top of that glaze. And here is my cat Promise. She always has to make an appearance. So as you can see, because my plate wasn't clean, I left some specks of orange on my page, which I didn't love, but I figure I'm going to tie it all in by adding the rest of the bits somewhere else on the page so that it ties in nicely. So here I'm using the glaze to add some flowers to my page, and my brain is telling me that this will not work because it's going to be too light on top of an already busy background. But I go ahead and I try it anyways, and then I use these hole enforcers, I forget what they're called, just to add some texture because I just love office supplies, and it turns out I was totally right, it did not work. So at this point, I grab the first thing I see on my desk, and that is some black chalk paint. And so I do the same thing for a second time, and this time I'm pretty confident it's going to show up. And I was right. It turned out really nice, and I love the texture on it. So now I'm thinking the right thing to do would be to put that flower lower so that it kind of looks, it offsets the other one, but I really, really want to put it off the page, and I know it's going to look bad, and I'm telling myself, don't do it, don't do it, don't do it, but oh, I did it anyways, and of course I hate it. So I'm going to attempt to fix it now. And I know that what I'm about to do is going to make it worse, and I do it anyways. So I made a bit of a mess, but that's perfectly okay because this is mixed media, and with mixed media you can always fix it. So now I'm just adding some black marks all over the page, and I'm going to use up all these little hole reinforcements because I just love how that looks on an art journal page. So now I pull out my new Bosca pen. I don't know if I've used it before. I've heard amazing things. I've heard they're the best markers ever. And I'm sure that everyone who's told me that is absolutely right, and I don't know what I did wrong, but I just kept getting way too much paint out, and it was kind of making a bit of a mess, but that's okay. I shall carry on. So now I'm just using a regular black pen just to go around the edges of the stem and the leaves. And the reason I'm using a black pen instead of a marker is because I didn't want the black to be too noticeable. So the black pen blended in quite nicely. And now I've just grabbed some strips of paper that I had on my desk. Was cutting some journals the other day, and these were just too pretty to throw out. And so I'm going to use Mod Podge to adhere them to the page. So this is where I would like to have one of those, those buttons with the circle and it says loading, 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 because that's what my brain is doing right now. I really want to add a heart somewhere, but because I put those strips of paper where I put them, it's a bad design element. It doesn't work there. I wish I had put them on the other side of the page to balance it out. And so I get the grand idea of removing them because I thought you know, I just did it, so it should be okay, but it wasn't. It was ripping, so I'm just going to adhere them again. And as you can see, I'm struggling with my little bottle here because it's really hard. And when I say it's hard, I mean the bottle is hard, so I need both hands to squeeze the Mod Podge out. Since I just really don't know what to do at this point, I figure paint splatters are the answer, and so I distract myself by using the pink wash just to splatter on this heart. And now I'm just gonna overthink for a while, and I'll spare you having to watch that. So I've decided to bring some of those strips of paper on the other side. I know that a good way to design a page is to have a triangle. So by adding the little strips of paper here between the flowers, the strips of paper on the left and the strips of paper on the right, it kind of makes a triangle, and it's much more pleasing to the eye. And by the way, this heart is one that I made yesterday when I was making the other journal page. I was just using up the paint and filling up a page to use at a later date. So it works perfectly fine since I use the same glaze as I did yesterday. So at this point, this page is really growing on me, and I'm really starting to like it, despite the one flower that's just wrong. But I'm just going to keep working on it until I like it. And so to finish it off, I'm just going to use the black pen to just kind of roughly do an outline around the flowers. And I'm also going to do some journaling, a title on the heart, and then some journaling on the left side. And I had just realized at this point that when I did yesterday's page, I had a whole theme in mind. I had a Bible verse to go with it. I had the words to go on each element, and everything was planned out. And here I am with a brand new page, and I had no idea what I was going to do on it. So because of the flowers and because I had love on my mind, I just decided to do Grow in Love. And I love how the Faith Impressions flower plate goes perfectly well right on top of the stems and leaves from the impressible. It's the right size and everything. So I'm all done. Thanks for watching and coming along on my very messy, artsy adventure. And I hope that you will click the like button and comment and subscribe to the Gel Press channel, and I'll see you next time. Bye.